This week on Socratic Cinema. Yeah.
By the way, I get your kids, and I'm also the president now.
I'm also...
Oh, I'm not popular, so now I'm going to become the bully and murder everyone sort of trope. That
hurt
doesn't...
people hurt.
People would be like, oh, that's Diana Ross.
I know, it's one step
Diana
worse
Ross?
than the Superman.
A black woman?
What's her last name again?
Prince!
Welcome back to another episode of Socratic Cinema, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charlie Heatherly.
My name is James DeLisio.
And I'm Kasey Clark.
And today, we're doing something really special. We are in person recording for the first time in forever, it feels like. I mean, it's been a year?
The last episode we recorded in person was Moonrise Kingdom.
Ooh.
So it's been a while, but we're back live in studio on the air, sitting like 6 feet apart across from each other. It's really bizarre. But I'm glad to be back, guys. We're back.
Yeah, I know. It's weird looking into people's eyes when I'm talking. I'm just going to make sure to really just never blink while I'm looking at them, although you guys won't be able to see that. But enough about this recording. We're sorry if things sound a little scuffed because, it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit of time since we've done this setup. But without any further ado, let's get into the movie of the hour, or next 45 minutes, however long we decide to talk about it for, Wonder Woman 1984.
Yay.
Yeah, not really that awesome because I don't even know what the hell I'm going to say about this movie. I'm going to pass it off to Kasey. What do you think about Wonder Woman 1984? What's your personal review?
Well, as I was watching it, because you guys had already kind of filled me in on all of the things kind of bad with the movie, so I was going in trying to be optimistic, but there's a lot of things that don't make sense, which honestly make it like a mediocre movie. Like, it's not horrible, it's not like egregiously bad, but it's just like
Yeah, I feel that hard. I didn't hate it like you either. There's a lot of individual components of this movie that I really enjoyed, but there was a whole lot that was just really boring and it felt unfocused, and it was just way too long of a movie. It had no right to be 2 hours and 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just, the ending was kind of unsatisfying to me too. There weren't really a whole lot of repercussions for anything bad that happened. I don't know. It was just weird. A big disappointment coming off of the first one, which I really liked. So, Charlie, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think that the problem with this movie is I don't think it understands its message, number one. Like, it keeps saying the word truth, but I don't think it knows the meaning of that. Like, you can't just keep saying that and then expect us to be like, oh, yeah, no, truth, you're right. That is important. Because this movie does nothing to actually flesh out that theme. And I think although it's probably carried a lot by its actors, specifically Pedro Pascal, who I love in this. I think he's great.
He did a very good job.
Because it's entirely different than anything he's ever done. I mean, he does seem... He's being typecast as the dad of Hollywood, though, where he has some sort of child that he needs to save or come back to or protect.
Dude, I would love Pedro Pascal as Joel in the HBO Last of Us series they're making. That would be interesting.
I would love that. And I hope that they do, although unfortunately, I don't think he looks enough like Joel for them to...
He really
it would be
doesn't.
funny if he was the only one that they had that sort of casting shift with. Everyone else looked exactly like the video game characters, and it was just Pedro Pascal as this like tall white guy.
Well, the joke is that Elliot Page looks a lot like Ellie, so they should just de-age Elliot Page and have him play that would be something.
I would love
That
Elliot
would be
Page as Ellie.
crazy.
I think that he would do a really, really good job at that. But, who knows? We're not talking about Last of Us today. We're talking about Wonder Woman, which is a really bad movie. I think its main problem, besides the fact that it has, like, zero attention to theme, is that it breaks its own narrative rules, like, 24/7. Like, oh, you have to be touching someone for the wish to work. I mean, we got radio waves. That's, like, good enough, I guess. Oh, you can only wish once, and then, you have to renounce that wish. Oh, no, we'll get Cheetah to wish twice, and now she's, a Cheetah
Yeah,
for the second
wait,
time.
she totally had 2 wishes.
No, yeah.
She had 2 wishes.
And they explained it like, oh, I'm feeling generous. Like, no.
That's not how the rules work.
Not how the rules
I will
work.
say, I thoroughly enjoyed Pedro Pascal as a villain. I thought he was a unique kind of villain that we haven't really seen very much in superhero movies. Like, for once we don't have specifically DC. Marvel's pretty good about having unique villains for the most part, but DC, they tend to always just kind of fall victim to like big gray evil villain with like energy blasts and is really strong. Like that was my biggest complaint with the first Wonder Woman, was that the villain, like they had that cool poison doctor thing, but then the real villain wound up being big gray monster. So I was glad that they didn't do that. I thought the wish power was really fun, and sort of seeing it kind of develop and unfold, and how he gets more and more power with the wish thing was very fun to watch. And I thought it was unique that he becomes the wish stone. I didn't expect that at all. I don't know if I would have done it differently or not, but I thought it was cool that he became the wish stone. I don't know if could he wish that in reverse? Do you think he could wish to not be the wish stone anymore?
See, maybe. I mean, the movie seems to not know the rules of it, so he could try.
Like, he wishes and then it kind of like...
Well, no, he just renounces the wish, right? And
oh, yeah, he goes, I renounce my wish.
Which is, like, no strings attached to this whole wishing thing, right?
No.
Like,
and I love how he can make the terms whatever he wants.
Yeah.
No,
like,
yeah.
And because that was never in the rules. Like, it was never... The Rock didn't make bad things happen. Pedro Pascal just started...
No, it does, which is the crazy thing. It doesn't tell you, though. You only figure that out
really
3/4 of the way into the movie.
And then Pedro... Oh, yeah, because she did start losing her powers early on. Diana did.
Yeah.
But Pedro Pascal just, like, takes the whole... There's monkey's paw thing and runs with it. He's like, by the way, I get your kids, and I'm also the president now.
I'm also...
But not really, because
Literally.
Reagan or Nixon or whoever is still the president still, like...
I think it was Reagan.
Yeah, but he said, I want all your authority. So then Pedro Pascal gets all of his authority, but then Reagan still is the president. And they're still listening to him.
Figurehead kind of thing, I guess. I don't know.
No, yeah. They definitely like pulled kind of like a Jafar,
Yes.
but not well,
God.
where it was
Yeah.
like, I want all the power. And they really didn't, because for the majority of the movie, I thought that because of Barbara's wish, that she was kind of just siphoning off Diana's power.
That's what I thought.
But like, that's not what it was. Like, it was just because Diana had wished to
the
get her
catch
boo
was-
back.
Yeah,
It
okay.
was like,
That's the question. I wonder if was the repercussion was Diana losing her powers a repercussion of Barbara's wish or of Diana's wish?
we don't know. Well, I think it's Diana's wish, because as soon as she renounces it, like then all of a sudden her hair's bouncy, her eyeliner's
that
back in
was funny.
place.
That was
She
really
can
funny.
fly.
Yes.
I have a really quick question. Is it canon that Wonder Woman can fly?
Yes.
It is?
My dad had to tell me that, but apparently.
Then
she
why
can
does
fly.
she need an invisible jet?
Good question. I don't really know. Also, how does that invisible jet part of the movie
question.
make any sense? Because
Just to get the invisible jet.
Yeah, it's
Well,
a fan service.
I mean, his name is Trevor in the movie, right? That's
Steve.
Steve. Oh,
My
sorry, I was
guy.
thinking- Steve. Sure, the most
last
white,
name's
boring
Trevor.
name of all time. Steve. He had the ability to fly without being seen because he was going to do it through the clouds, right? He's that good of a pilot. But then Diana's like, radar's a thing, and she's like, okay, well, you know how radar works? We'll just make the plane invisible. It's like that's not
how.
Yeah, radar would still
radar
pick
is.
it up, no?
Yeah.
Well, it was fun to see the invisible plane. It was a cool visual effect seeing like the fireworks and all. It was nice. I think Gal Gadot, as we learned, Gal Gadot,
Sure.
Gadot,
Just have a T in there.
and Chris Pine really carried this movie. I think their performances were magical, and I think their chemistry was great in the first one, and I think their chemistry was great in this one too. They were my favorite part. Honestly, when I first heard that they were bringing Chris Pine's character back for this movie, I was really mad. Thought I was gonna hate it. And honestly, that turned out to be one of the least frustrating parts of the movie for me. Like I thought they were gonna pull some Captain America thing where he was like frozen in ice after the plane
Yeah.
crash. No, but
Different Steve.
Yeah, the fact that they laid into it and was just like, no, yeah, we just brought him back with a wish, but you have to send him back later, and he's actually in this other guy's body. I was like, you know what? At least they're admitting that it's like nonsensical. And Chris Pine is a charming enough character where where he won me over anyways.
Yeah, I love him. Well, so here's my question: why did he need to be in another person's body?
That's the yes.
Well,
I want to
'cause,
talk about
the
that.
law of conservation of matter states that he can't just apparate, I guess.
We're talking about a movie where a girl can fly, make planes invisible, and ride on lightning using a truth lasso.
Oh, that was
But
so.
the law
that
of
made
conservation of matter is
That
gonna.
made me really, really mad when she rode on the lightning with her. That looked so weird to me.
She did it last time though.
She did?
Yeah, she rode on, or did she harness it? Oh my God,
I know.
sorry.
That's the only thing about recording in person, though, is you can hear every single thunk 3 times over through all of our mics.
I'll just sit on my
I know.
hands.
Hands on laps, everybody. There was something I was going to say about her lasso riding. The CGI in this movie looked really bad. Did anyone else notice? Like,
Cheetah, I think so. Oh yeah,
Cheetah
no, the
gave me
fight
cats.
scenes
Like,
looked very.
Cheetah gave me cats.
oh, she
vibes.
did. We almost did an episode on cats, guys. Do you remember?
Oh my
And
God.
instead,
you
I did
saved
a
us.
video essay about it.
Can I just say, my experience in the theater watching Cats was like I was living in a surrealist painting. It was crazy. Like I felt like the entire theater was going insane with me. And at the very end, I tried to give, some applause. I tried to stand up and give some applause. But unfortunately, the rest of the theater just was not a very big fan of that. And, the person I was sitting next to, Hallie, actually slammed me back down in my seat because she's like, you cannot applaud this movie. It's just absolutely not worth it.
Standing ovation for cats.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's a lot how I felt watching Cats, though. It's like every time a new scene started, I looked over to my friend with the same just dead expression.
It hurt to watch.
But
Same with this movie.
apparently no one learned from their mistakes and thought that was a good design for Cheetah.
At least they gave her toes the first time.
The first
True.
time?
Yeah, didn't cats they didn't have
Did they?
Feet.
I didn't try and
I think they had melded feet, right?
or like weird feet,
Oh,
but they're just like,
little
let's give her the paws.
and her face looked a little bit more normal. Like she had
Yeah.
hair still, kind of. Okay, all right. I have another question about that final fight. I thought that I have a lot of questions about the third act of this movie.
Sure.
Guys. Not a lot makes sense. All right. Well, first things first. Let's talk a little bit more about Maxwell Lord's character. Pedro Pascal's character, Maxwell Lord. What is his motivation for being like evil? He doesn't seem like an evil guy.
He wants money. He wants to be the
Yeah,
best, and
he
he's
wants to
been.
be successful.
I mean, this guy's like on the brink of bankruptcy, and he has this whole loser complex. So his whole thing is like, I can't be. It's sort of like Donald Trump. Like, I can't be a loser. I have to win. So he does whatever it takes. In his case, it's I'm going to become the wish stone and get whatever I want from all these people.
I guess that just didn't strike me very well. And also the fact that he just kind of like turns. I think I didn't understand his motivation as much because he turned back good so easily. Like,
I have a son.
Yeah.
You're right.
Bro, the son.
I mean,
when he was
yeah.
like, Alistair's here,
I'm
I
not-
started crying.
I'm not
like,
gonna
he's,
lie.
Like, outside the door.
that son was a trash child actor. I'm not gonna
Rip
cover it
Alistair.
up. Alistair was like, I can't even. He was just not very
He
good.
was just average, like Nickelodeon.
he
type
was
beat.
Nickelodeon.
Also, I love how Alistair is wishing for his dad to come back, but that's the one wish that Pedro Pascal does not grant during the entire
He's like,
final act.
Not you.
But then he renounces it and then goes? Like, why not go to that guy and then renounce your wish so you save yourself a plane ride?
Right? It doesn't make sense. And he turns back good, and
Through the power of love. Not even like Wonder Woman beating him up, just like.
But
I would have
there's-
liked to see
there's
him get beat up.
There's no repercussion for him being evil.
There really
The
isn't.
last scene we see is him hugging his son, being like, "Daddy's here. I'm gonna make it right. You shouldn't be proud of me." And then we see Diana meet Pseudo Steve in the Market Square, and that's the end.
He learned his lesson, James.
That's what lesson did he learn? That he has a son?
That he's a bad guy and needs to stop.
bad
My
He's such a
lesson is
Bad
that I
role
am
model.
fundamentally flawed. There's no redemption. And same with Barbara. Barbara didn't learn. All she learned was that even when she has Diana powers, she's still not good enough.
Dang,
That's
that's
it.
rough.
Barbara's was possibly my least favorite character in the movie.
Her turn made no sense. I don't get the I'm not popular, so now I'm going to become the bully and murder everyone sort of trope. That
Hurt
doesn't.
people hurt.
That's not how that works.
But I think the villains in this movie don't know why they're evil, and that
They
is-
really don't.
it cheapens it. I thought, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think Barbara should have not turned into a cheetah. I think her leopard print, leather jacket get up was enough of a villain look for her.
Yeah, no, it's really dumb, especially the way they worded the wish. Like, I want to be the apex predator.
I know they edged us into not saying cheetah. Like they,
I want to be a cheetah.
why couldn't? And then
That's just her wish.
because the promotional material is like cheetah, guys. This is Cheetah. She's the villain. Cheetah is the villain of the movie.
Yeah.
And then in the actual film, they're like, I want to be an apex predator. Oh, I love your like jungle animal print shoes, Diana. And it's like there's all this cheetah hinting. There's cheetah coding, but it's not
Cheetah coding.
They never. And this is a personal nitpick with superhero movies. I need them to have the characters be the characters, like with the villains
Please.
especially.
Sure.
Because with the villains, like I love rogues galleries and all these fun villains with their cool names. I need you, like if you're gonna include this villain in your movie, commit to it. Call him Vulture. Call him Dr. Octopus. Like say their name. Don't just be like, oh like in Homecoming. It's like, oh, he's Adrian Toomes. He's Adrian Toomes. It's like, no, he's Vulture.
Yeah,
Call him Vulture.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, like with Dr. Octopus, I get that octopus is a really funny word.
Like
so
Doc
Doc
Ock.
Ock.
Doc Ock works.
Like that's fine with me. And I think the thing they're trying to like constantly go away from is making it sound ridiculous when you're trying to get this, like really sort of real movie going on. Like Joker works because it's sort of like a cool badass like serial killer name. But like, I don't know, Clayface, like if they actually had Clayface
no,
in
man,
the movies.
I would want them to call him Clayface.
No, I would too, but it's just like they need to find a way to get around that. Usually it's like this is his alias type thing. But
yeah,
you're right.
they
No, I
call
think
him-
they should call Adrian Toomes
like every
Vulture.
time she called her Barbara, I wanted her to be like, nah, it's Cheetah now. Like it would have been so lame, but at least they would have gone through with it
Yeah.
instead of us having to guess that this is supposed to be Cheetah.
It matches the tone of the movie too. Like the whole movie's ridiculous. So why not go
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
Cheetah now? you know?
Or villains like
Literally.
Maxwell Lord or Maxwell Lord reminds me a lot of Aldrich Killian from Iron Man 3, who's
Yes.
another villain that I really didn't like because he didn't. It's like this is just a guy. This is just a dude. What's his villain name? Can you tell me?
Mandarin in
They
quotes?
based that movie off of the is it Extremis or Extremis? It's one Iron Man comic that's really really good. I forget if the guy actually had like a villain name. I think he might have just been called Killian.
And that's why I don't like it. I need them
'Cause
to
he doesn't
be,
have a villain
I
name?
need them to because they're not comically villainous until they have a comically super villain name. Like I can't take Aldrich Killian or Maxwell like if Maxwell Lord was like Mr. Wish or something, even then I would have been like, I see you as a fully fledged villain now. Like you're
Really,
not a
it's-
super.
It's just the name.
You're not a
that's holding me
super
back.
villain until you have a super villain name. I think.
Yeah, I
Whoa.
mean, it bothers me more that it took over like an hour and 45 minutes for Cheetah to Cheetah.
Yeah.
True. She didn't cheat till the very end.
Like the very like after she beat up Mr. Harasser dude, we're like, all right, we're seeing the shift.
Yeah.
This movie took a while to get where it was going. I think.
Yeah.
And just it was kind of all over the place. Like, why did we go to Cairo? We went to Egypt in this movie for some reason.
Hey, it was cool. It was really cool.
It was cool. That was okay. I will say the action pieces, for as weird as they looked CGI wise, I thought were fun enough.
Well, actually, no, I lied about that. It's not cool. I just wanted to make the movie feel good for a second. It's really bad. It's stupid as all hell. Like, how do you have a Wonder Woman movie and then her main opponent in the Cairo fight is a bunch of trucks?
The Saudis.
Wonder Woman versus the Saudis. Like,
Why did this
So
movie
weird.
have a Saudi Arabian like oil
I-
crisis subplot?
I have no
it had
idea.
that in like a racial Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
and a
like-
lot of Soviet like
yeah.
And then racial, like the random, like when all the wishes are getting granted, and it's like I wish you Irish, da 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 da. And I was like, whoa, that came out.
I feel
nowhere.
represented.
I was like, dang,
My stripes.
genocide.
The amount of redheads in this film was, I think, a little pandering to the redhead audience. As a redhead myself, I'm allowed to say that. There was way too many redheaded people, if we're being quite honest.
Wait, who?
Well, they had the whole like Irish bit there, and if you just
yeah.
look around like the malls, there's people with like fiery red hair, like every other scene. It's really crazy.
It's an Easter egg actually. They're all Starfire.
Yeah.
They're all
All
Starfire. It's all of them.
Every single person's Starfire.
Yeah.
I would like to say one little note that I thought was funny. I think it's a nice pun that Cheetah got catcalled. And that is the only thing I have to say on that.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh man, that's good.
I think knowing that she was Cheetah helped for me, because there's a lot of Cheetah hinting. Like,
Yeah.
in the very first interaction with Diana, she's like wearing Diana's wearing cheetah print shoes, and Barbara's like, "Oh, I like those." And my dad pointed out actually that her last name is Minerva, which is like the Roman version of Athena. So it's like kind of some hinting that she's gonna be like, because Diana's kind of like a goddess type,
Yeah.
Amazonian, whatever. So I mean, that little clever name stuff, like she's gonna become anti-Diana. And I thought it was a good contrast, like in the fight with in the White House. There was a fight in the White House too. This movie's a
much.
journey. I thought it was cool seeing like Diana try so hard not to kill people, and then Cheetah's just like
Throwing folks.
she's murdering.
Yeah. Well, so like I think you bring up a good point where it's like there's a fight at the White House, there's a fight in Cairo, there's a fight at all these wacky places. I think they could have leaned into it more. Like,
Yeah.
if they want to go with this crazy tone that they're going for, Riot on Lightning style, like why are they not having Diana like smash a pyramid in half? Like,
Or they should have done like an Indiana Jones montage thing where you see the plane go on the map like.
yeah, exactly.
Yes,
We're in
yeah.
Cairo now.
Like, if you want to make it pulpy, then make it pulpy. But like, don't try and make this a serious, emotional movie, but then also really goofy and wacky. Like, what's your tone here?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
is this all
it
about the
def-
truth, or is this all about having just a fun time?
Yeah, it definitely had tonal issues. Like the beginning, like the opening fight scene in the mall. I was like, oh, all right, this is giving me camp. This is giving me like kind of like
Yeah.
goofy.
80s.
And then it was like back to my dead boyfriend. And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
lose you.
It was really weird. I think it should have leaned into the goofy more. I think the
Yeah.
goofy is what worked in this movie.
I agree.
All the 80s fun stuff with Diana and Steve was my favorite parts of the movie. I thought that was great, campy, blah, blah, blah. I just think this movie had a lot of the serious stuff. A lot of it could have been cut, and a lot of it was like not important and just not well delivered. Like the opening scene, the American, the Amazonian ninja warrior.
Loved it. Great.
Loved it. It was
Ninja
fun.
warrior.
It was also way too long, and like
Well, it has no purpose. Like,
because they never come back to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's the truth, James. They said the word truth in there, which means it means something.
No, I thought they were.
Oh
I thought they were gonna do some like thing at the last second where like maybe like bookend it.
Yeah,
Maybe
like, oh, a shortcut.
a later year. Yeah, just something to
Just
bring us
something to
just
bring it
something to bring us
back.
back. Maybe an older Diana doing it and
Yeah.
not taking the shortcutter. But I guess it kind of works because Diana doesn't like take any short. Does she learn to not take shortcuts or lie? I mean,
I guess
Maybe with
Steve's a
Steve?
lie.
sending Steve
Yeah.
back. Yeah, that was good.
But that's
That
like
was
sort of a
kind of-
stretch. I don't know.
It was a very well acted scene, though. I think them saying goodbye was for
Yeah,
sure
that got me.
That was the emotional, like big impact of the
Yeah.
film.
See, that's
What
the thing
was-
is they have these great, like, really dramatic actors. Like Chris Pine is so good. Gal Gadot is so good. Godot, I don't know anymore. Like all these people are such great dramatic actors, but then they're like, we're also campy at the same time. It's like,
Yeah.
get your actors right. If you have these guys, then why don't you just make something like the first Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Where you had this sort of like cool regal tone throughout all of it, and it was this fish out of water story. Like that's really interesting for a superhero movie. And then you just made this one another superhero movie.
Yeah, this is just like every other superhero movie.
Yeah, like the other one at least had some original ideas that they, absolutely threw away in the third act with like Ares coming back.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, come on, Patty Jenkins. Her big thing was that in the first movie, she did not have a lot of executive control. And she was blaming people like Zack Snyder for making the third act of that movie really, really bad. So then the studio gave her like nearly full control on this movie where she was, I think, a producer, a screenplay writer, and then, just producer and screenplay writer in addition to director. So she, this was her story and
Yeah.
it flopped. So I wonder why they got Zack Snyder to try and rework whatever the hell she was doing in the first movie, because I don't think she has the capability to like write a coherent film if this is like her best, like most passionate effort that she's done.
I guess so. Not to bash on her too bad. Like, it wasn't totally incoherent. Like, it wasn't terrible.
It broke a lot of rules.
It broke a lot of rules.
We've been talking for 20 minutes about all the rules.
That's
that it broke.
you're right. You're right. But I just want to I think there have been worse superhero movies than Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, sure. Like, I think that
Yes.
there's a lot of good things about it, but she just strayed so far away from like what made the first movie good.
I guess so. There's
Yeah,
a lot of,
I can see
There's a
that.
lot of Marvel movies that are worse than this, honestly, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like this is maybe
That
like
sucks.
this is on par with a low tier Marvel movie, but there are some pretty crappy Marvel movies that I don't think people hate on enough. I think Thor: The Dark World deserves way more hate.
I think Marvel at its worst is boring.
Yeah,
I think-
which this movie is boring too.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say I would watch this movie more readily than Thor: The Dark World.
Same.
Because this movie is so crazy. Like I
Yeah.
think that this has like a so bad it's good appeal a little bit.
The camp really helps.
Like if you just sort of forget that this is meant to be like a plot and you're just like pretty fight scene go brrr, and like you just keep going along that path, then you know you can watch it. But it feels like it was such a big swing, and I can appreciate the risk that was taken doing it. But when you had a great base and then you squander it like this, I don't know.
I'm gonna call it Ant-Man and the Wasp tier. I would put this maybe on par with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think that movie is much more capable than this one, but I think that that Wonder Woman was more entertaining, personally.
I
I'll
agree.
say that.
What about Captain Marvel?
This is
Captain
actually
Marvel
probably
tier?
pretty comparable to Captain Marvel. I would
No,
say.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, like
is
the
Captain
hype,
Marvel.
like
The hype did not
parallels.
add up. I want to say I would not like to be friends with any of the characters in this movie except for Chris Pine. I
Oh,
would,
yeah.
I would not want to be friends with Diana Ross at all. She seems like such a prick. In the workplace environment, she's like, I don't typically attend the galas. I think people who are really concerned with helping the museum don't need to throw galas for it. And then she went to the gala anyways. Like,
Oh yeah.
don't put on a whole show about it if you're going to go anyways.
I think the funniest thing about the movie is Diana just constantly shutting guys down like the entire time.
whole
That
film.
had me
Really funny.
laughing. Her just like no.
And it's realistic too, because
really
everyone
is.
wants to be with Gal Gadot. It was like, what? And then, yeah, God, no, she was just a little too. I feel like she never became fully human. Like she still has a little bit of that
Yeah.
alien thing that just makes her kind of a prick.
Kind of condescending.
Yeah, very
Which, like,
condescending.
I think Barbara points out where
Yeah,
it was like, "Oh, poor me, I don't understand anything."
Oh, and I think she doesn't like. She's not trying to be like it's a fish out of
No,
water thing,
yeah.
but she's just very like holier than thou.
very uppity.
Yes,
Yeah.
gosh, it's so. Anytime she interacts with normal humans, I'm like, oh, shut up, please. But then when she's with Chris Pine, I'm like, this is lovely.
Yes.
because Chris Pine's the only one who knows how to handle Wonder Woman in this movie. Like,
That's
their
true.
chemistry is excellent. I think.
Yeah. Well, because Wonder Woman's such an imposing figure, and he's like, well, I know you. You need to let me go and kill me. She's like, no, don't kill me. That'd be horrible. But then she ends up doing it in that really emotional scene. I do want to say, very briefly, Patty Jenkins has only finished one other full-length movie besides Wonder Woman and Wonder
what
Woman
is it?
2.
What is it?
It's this movie called Monster.
Oh, with the
Theron, Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what this movie
It's
is.
the Warnos movie. It actually
Yeah.
got an
The Warnos movie?
yeah.
What is a Warnos?
Well, it's what's her name? Her last name is Warnos, but she was a serial killer. She was like a hooker, and she would like kill men.
Oh.
And it's actually really interesting. That's how Charlize Theron got her Oscar. Actually,
Yeah.
Oh.
So crazy. So that movie was made in the year of my birth, 2003. And then 14 years later was Wonder Woman.
yeah.
Wow. So the break.
I have no clue, but those are the only full-length movies that she's made according to Wikipedia. The other stuff is just short films. So Cleopatra and Star Wars Rogue Squadron are like, this is still very early on into her career.
She did Rogue Squadron.
She's going to do Rogue
Right.
Squadron.
And what is Cleopatra?
Cleopatra,
Talk to me about Cleopatra. I heard you guys talking
I
about
didn't
it.
want to talk
I
about
well, I was-
Kasey can. She knows a lot more
I
about
was setting
Cleopatra
up
than I do.
I was setting up the audio, and I heard a lot of passionate conversation about Cleopatra.
Well, Cleopatra is just not a lot is released about it, but it's essentially just going to be another anthology type film where it's Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins back together again, dream team.
Love to see it.
But my main problem is that why in the year of our Lord 2020 going into 2021 are we still casting like I know Gal Gadot is a person of color, but like white passing people of color in Cleopatra. Like we've done did this.
Is Gal Gadot white passing?
Yes.
Yeah.
How white? Wait.
Have you
Yes.
looked at Gal Gadot?
Compared to me, I think if I was standing next to Gal Gadot,
She's like spicy white.
picture me and Gal Gadot in a room. Which one of these two is a person of color?
Well, you're very white, so that's not like a good comparison. That's like me.
You're gonna say
going
that's
to your
not a
room.
good thing. I must renounce my Anglicism.
No, but if you had to look at Gal Gadot and say, is this a person of color or is she white?
Oh, if I heard her talk, I think I'd be able to tell.
Well, sure. 'cause
Yeah,
she
but
has
just
the
like
Israeli
looking
accent.
at her.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, she's kind of like olive skinned, right?
See, I've never understood that because olives are green. So, like,
It's like the undertone.
Well, because olives are green or like pitch black.
yeah.
It's really.
Am I the only one that's confused by this? What does that mean, olive skinned?
I think it's more.
I hear it referred to Italians a lot as olive.
Yeah, I think it's more about the
sounds racist.
geography in which olives are used. Were like widely.
So it is a little racist.
It is kind of racist. I feel.
What?
I mean, like not like blatantly.
I heard.
but I feel like it's like
it's like
a
saying
descriptor.
African American, like black people have chocolate. You know, like chocolate skin.
chocolate.
It's like that.
Peanut butter. Nubian.
Okay, I learned the term olive skinned from Rick Riordan. He would always refer to Nico Vasquez as olive skinned, and I was like,
Maybe
that
it's
mean?
closer to
like sun
olive oil, like that shade, maybe.
Yellow.
Green makes
boy.
more, or yellow makes more sense than green. I'll be real with you.
I
That's
don't
fair.
know.
That's fair.
I think speaking of Italian slander, I was watching It's a Wonderful Life because that was like at the peak of, you know, that was before Italians were considered white people, and so they were like racist towards Italians too.
yeah.
And they would call them like garlic eaters. Like they were like,
James is Italian for
I'm
record.
Italian. I've reclaimed this term. But there was an Italian. I just made my co-hosts die over there.
Dude, don't do that when I'm drinking water, man. I've reclaimed the term.
But they were like, because the main character in It's a Wonderful Life is friends with the Italians. He like sells them houses, and they were like, oh, he hangs out with the garlic munchers. And I was like, what? It was because I've never faced any sort of discrimination. I mean, granted, I'm not that Italian, but like, it was just weird to see people like slandering. It was like, you guys are white nowadays. Like, it
Yeah.
just didn't make sense to me.
Well, garlic's really tasty too, so I don't get why that's such an insult.
Granted, if someone munched garlic, I probably wouldn't want to be around them until they brush their teeth.
Sure, you know, fair enough.
All this to say, back to Cleopatra.
I'm glad you've reclaimed the term, James. That's great. That's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Proud garlic muncher. So when is Cleopatra coming out then?
Ooh. Charlie?
God knows.
Like 2020, 22?
My
Wait, what studio? What is Who's doing this?
I just saw the announcement.
Is it DC? Is it?
I don't think
no,
it's like
that'd be
attached
really
to,
weird.
Okay, I wasn't.
It's not Cleopatra, but it's a superhero movie.
Girl, it's just another what? Gal Gadot's playing
just
another
another
character.
Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot has two characters she
She
plays.
just like switches wigs.
oh my gosh.
Well, my question is, why is this movie being made?
Cleopatra.
I have no idea.
Why do we need another Cleopatra film?
We
How many
don't.
have there been? Have I don't think I've seen.
There's
We
one.
been
have
a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Cleopatra's like one of the most famous women of all of history.
Oh.
And her story has been told 10,000 times.
We need a new Joan of Arc. We haven't had a Joan
Yeah,
of Arc movie
well-
in a while.
Making a movie about Cleopatra is like making a movie about Lincoln. Like everybody knows what's going on.
But there's
right?
like one clear good Lincoln movie that stands above the rest. though.
Sure, but a lot of the classic Cleopatras are really good from what I hear. I mean, you know, they're still whitewashed and everything, but like, you know.
Yeah.
And apparently there's also stage productions of some Cleopatra things. But like Golden Age Hollywood had that sort of Cleopatra thing down. 'Cause
You're
that's how they
right.
lived.
I've heard a lot about. I have heard of like old Cleopatra movies, but
There are 12.
12.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We got Antony and Cleopatra, multiple, one in 1908, 1913, 1959, 1972, 1974 TV drama, a 2015 film, and then we have another Cleopatra film, all named Cleopatra, in 1917, 1934, 1963, 1970, then Cleopatra's second husband, and then a movie called Zulfikar, which she's in as well.
Is she? Does she make an appearance in any of the Mummy movies?
No. No, I'm actually a mummy scholar. No, she does not.
Oh, okay. I remember in the movie trivia, Charlie was Mr. Mummy.
Mr.
Well, okay, the original mummy, not like the original mummy, but the one with Brendan Fraser is one of the best action movies of all time. I will
I
die
do
on that
like
hill.
Brendan.
Is that the one
Fraser.
with CGI Scorpion Dwayne Johnson?
No. You're thinking of Scorpion King, buddy. That is a different
Oh, it
mummy
is?
movie.
That haunts my dreams.
Is that in the MCU, the Mummy Cinematic Universe?
Yes, actually it is, which is the crazy part.
Oh my gosh.
No, but Brendan Fraser's The Mummy, the first one, is like really, really good. So I highly recommend that everyone watches that.
If you're wondering why we're not talking about Wonder Woman 84 right now, it's because there's not much to say.
Yeah. What do you want me to say about it? It's bad.
Say one good thing about Wonder Woman 84.
Steve?
Say one good thing about Wonder Woman 84 that's not about Chris Pine.
Ooh, costume design.
Oh, elaborate. Tell us more about the
Okay.
costume design.
So the costume design, it's mostly just period stuff, which is like, you know,
It's enjoyable.
It's enjoyable. It's
Yeah.
impressive. I was definitely like paying attention to the all gold suit because I've been hyped for the all gold suit. One question about the all gold suit: how in the world?
Where did she get it?
Well, it was in her apartment.
Well, she looted it off of the dead corpse of another Amazonian.
Right. No, my
but
question
she
is,
wasn't dead because of the after
yeah,
scene.
yeah.
Ah.
huh?
So you didn't watch the after credits?
didn't
No,
James.
wait,
watched
okay.
the movie
Let's,
and left.
let's wrap up the gold suit thing first. My question is, we didn't see her take it with her. Like, she wasn't carrying it.
It was like
when
a
she
2-second scene.
She took it?
Well, yeah, because there's the scene where she's like talking to Steve about
Right.
it. And then when she's doing her flight thing, there's like a 2-second scene. If you blink, you miss it, where she's in like her apartment and like she's in like one frame and then the suit's kind of like off to
Oh,
the side.
I must have missed that,
And then
'cause-
she shows up in it.
Because as far as I know, she left in her wonder suit,
Wondrous.
carrying nothing, and hit the ground in the gold armor.
Wait, no, you're right, because she was flying and then she got to the island.
In the gold suit. She landed in the gold
It was
suit.
a 2-second thing. It
No,
was
but like
so.
even if she was looking at it in the apartment, she wasn't carrying it.
She
when
had.
was flying,
She didn't
right?
have a backpack on with it.
She's got the lasso of truth in the back with just the gold
just
suit all
flying
wrapped up.
behind
Yeah.
her.
I will say, I wish I got to see her utilize the wings more in the
Kills
fight.
a pelican
Yeah,
on the way there.
that's my complaint about it, because these wings, the lore of the wings is that Asteria held off like mankind with those rings,
Yeah.
and Cheetah's just gonna shred them like that.
Pull some Eighth Amendment.
Well, because all Gal
Gadot
Gadot did was like stand there and get herself beaten up. Like, do you think that's what Asteria did? Is just sort of sit there in
Well,
her
she
bubble?
did. She
Well,
did
yeah,
the same
she did,
move
like,
in the
the-
flashback.
Well, yeah, but she
And I
held
was like,
everybody
girl.
off.
I wanted to see Gal Gadot do some like wing moves, you know, like
Yeah.
or like launch the feathers at like
Yeah.
Like
something
hawks?
cool. Yeah,
Why
oh,
you're like,
hawks.
just, like,
Please
throw
no.
something.
Let's not talk about that. Oh gosh.
Well, like, why is it even there? It's just there to prolong the fight scene.
And does
It's
she-
not like a special
Yeah.
power.
She doesn't get her oomph.
yeah,
Shockwave
but it
is a lot
doesn't even
No.
work.
And I just want to talk about how brutal this is what I think the way Barbara like died, even though she somehow didn't die, like was kind of fun. She let no. They kept cutting to that wire, like sparky wire,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh. My question is, maybe the suit grants electricity immunity because
Oh yeah, she's
because
just a medicine.
Yeah, she's just fine.
I thought that Diana Ross was gonna like jump out of the water at the last second.
she holds
she
her
swims in
down.
it.
She holds her down.
The
Like,
only
go to sleep,
way-
go to sleep.
that could work is that traditionally the Amazonians were made out of clay. So
Oh, that's huge.
that is the only way in my mind that is
Right,
working.
and
We'll run with that.
all my Pokemon players know that electric type attacks have no effect on ground type
I
Pokemon. So that's actually huge. That's my new headcanon.
Yeah.
Is that because she's made of clay, she's immune.
I have one more pet peeve.
Please.
just one.
So yes, that I just wanted. Well, two. you reminded me. So I love how we have the whole montage of Steve not knowing anything. Like that was cute, but we jump from him not knowing what a trash can is to let's have him fly a modern plane.
Well, he just thought it was art.
He did kind of like fiddle around for a while. He was like engine. I think it's like cars. Like you could probably drive an old car. You'd
like
have
a bicycle type.
I don't know, stick man.
Like okay, listen, I know stick. You'd have to like fiddle around, maybe like, oh, here's the turn signal. Okay, the pedals are down here now. Okay.
Yeah.
But
it's a plane.
But I mean,
It's a fighter jet, actually.
But he was like, but you saw him kind of fiddle, or like, engines here. Like, I'm sure it's the same rough procedure.
I'm
right?
glad he was used to the G forces that those planes can go up to as well.
Oh, yeah, that's surprised you didn't see his face rip off.
Which was, it's crazy to me that they did the fish out of water again, but shorter on the guy that was like.
Yeah,
they
that's
just
kind of
flipped it.
fun.
Yeah.
Is it? It feels repetitive.
Wait a minute. You
is it
did not get away from answering the question. What is one good thing aside from Chris Pine that you liked about this movie? Come on, man. This is dead time. Our
like
audience
the
retention.
gingers.
Audience
The ginger.
retention.
No, that's a great thing. I loved the ginger representation in this movie.
Okay.
I thought the fact that they had ginger people was great.
Ginger was really good.
people.
I'm
Ginger
reclaiming the term
folks.
carrot top as well.
Isn't that a person?
Yeah, that's a comedian.
Oh, I've always
It
heard of
is,
him, but I've
yeah.
never.
Which I don't get because the top of a carrot is green.
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
it's not carrot top as in like top
As
of a
in, like,
carrot. Carrot
the
top
top
as in
looks like a
my
carrot.
top has a carrot, right?
My top as a carrot. Yes.
Yeah. Carrot top, my top.
Oh,
James,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
one thing you liked about Wonder Woman?
The soundtrack. I
Oh,
thought the
that's
score was good. Wonder Woman's like theme is a banger. That
It really is.
Yeah, it's so
Hans
good.
went off.
Hans went off. That is such a like. I remember seeing the first one and hearing that, and I was like, vroom. Like
Yeah.
you know, in Soul
Yeah.
when they're like astral project. That was like me. Her in Doctor Strange when she like touches this thing and he.
It flies back.
That was me when I heard the Wonder Woman theme, and so it took them a while to play it in this movie. But then
really did.
once they played it once, every scene
Every
they were like,
time.
"Hey, let's da 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 da."
It's the one good thing they have on that soundtrack.
Honestly, and it was so good. So
Yeah.
I liked that, and that's what I liked about Wonder Woman 84. Why 1984? That's such a cursed year. Like George Orwell really added a negative connotation to the year 1984.
Oh yeah, no, you're
Oh,
right.
Like, you know, no, that had to be intentional, right?
Well,
I
maybe not really though, because it doesn't touch on any of the themes of the book.
It doesn't. I don't know why they would choose to.
Well,
Truth.
The 80s
Truth
are
is
so
the
played
theme.
out, right?
But they could have picked any other number from 80 to 89. Like, and it would have aesthetically looked just the same. Their whole WW84 campaign would have
Yeah.
kind of been WW8. Like, I just like, I mean, they had to have known. Surely some executive was like, sir, there's already a book called 1984. And but I read it. Whew, yikes. But like, why Wonder Woman 1984, do you think?
I would have liked Wonder Woman 2006. I think that would have been the much better film. Out
It's
of,
just low-rise jeans and lawns.
Wonder Woman 2013, and everyone's making vines.
2013.
yeah.
Gosh.
Like, I got a vine of Wonder Woman saving. Also, when she's in Syria, the way that they just skip over her full force landing on two children.
Oh my gosh, how did they not break bones?
How did it not break? She's like, this is our little secret. Them with like a broken
Yeah,
leg.
they're like hobbling away. I was gonna say something. Why is Wonder Woman trying to hide her existence so much in this movie? Like, well, I guess because she doesn't wear a mask, and people would be like, "Oh, that's Diana Ross."
I know, it's one step
Diana
worse than the
Ross?
Superman.
A
her last
black
name?
woman?
What's her last name again?
Prince.
A different black person.
A different black person. See,
Oh no, I
I'm
fully thought it
living.
was Diana Ross. I think I've said that a few times this episode now.
Maybe.
Oh, that's-
Have we
should've-
not caught
why,
that yet?
why didn't they not go with the alliteration game and have her be like Diana Duncan or something? You know?
Because that's the dumbest name I've ever
Well,
heard.
listen,
That
Peter
was-
Parker.
Peter Parker.
Listen, Casey Clark. Casey Clark, I do not
Yeah.
want to hear you talk. Okay.
I'm being
Slander.
exposed.
The letters
but
are
it's
different,
like,
but the
Also,
phonetics.
well,
are
technically
the
it's
same.
not even alliteration because it's the CL sound instead of just the K sound. So K
I
and
beg to-
Kla are two different.
I beg to differ.
or Clarissa Clark.
Oh, okay. Well, there we
There's
go.
I
the
did it to
self-drag.
Now we got it. Yep.
And then I swear I had one last thing to say about Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, how can you consent when you're not in your own body?
Huh? Unpack that one for me. Walk step by.
That
walk,
made immediate sense to me.
walk me through this one.
Thank you, Charlie.
Did they?
Because
James-
my whole thing.
James is like, how Nazi time work? I don't understand.
Stop. No, because
No, they're just both sitting shirtless in the bed, James.
stop.
That's
I
just-
get it. I'm not listen. But like that's him. That's Chris Pine at this point.
No, it's not.
It's
She just
different,
imagines
like
it as
body
Chris Pine.
She's just a
whole
schizo this whole time.
She is a schizo the entire time.
No.
It is very clear that it is that guy's body, but she just only sees Chris Pine.
Well, right, but I mean, it's implied that is Chris Pine in there. Like,
Well, like his personality, sure, but it's not his body by any means.
I see.
The dude doesn't
Yeah.
look like
So
Chris Pine.
did the body host then when he comes back? I mean, will he
he
ever
would have
know?
scored with Wonder Woman, yeah.
But he'll never know.
Oh my
never know.
God, Charlie.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was kind of frustrated because Diana makes this whole point about like I'll never love again, and then we just gonna pretend that Bruce Wayne in the Justice
Oh,
League movie they
dang.
didn't
Yeah.
have some chemistry there. Sparks
Yeah.
flew.
Have you guys watched, or is the Snyder Cut out yet for Justice League?
Isn't Jared? I know, but I heard Jared Leto's Joker's gonna be in it.
Oh yeah.
Disgusting. Gross.
Why though? How does that even work?
I don't
I don't
because
know. For what?
Okay, Snyder is also dumb. I will say that Patty Jenkins might have screwed this one up. Snyder definitely screwed the last one up, and
Yeah.
like all of the movies that he's done with Ben Affleck. Like, I don't understand how you're so bad at like just making movies. Like, why can't you just make them less gritty and less dumb?
And how
Zack Snyder.
how different is he gonna make it? Even like people are hyped.
It's like violence.
Well, that was the one thing that was
Yeah.
missing from Justice League is a bad Joker.
yeah.
You know, like the whole movie would have been tied together by a subpar performance of one of DC's best characters.
I want to. I want to see them build on. Do you think Joker is ever going to be connected to anything else, like the Joaquin Phoenix one? I think that will always be standalone. Right?
They're saying that the Batman is.
Same
Oh,
universe.
really? Oh,
okay. Wait. I'm kind
that-
of. You know what? That's
alright.
cool with me. Actually, yeah. That's
I'm
great.
fine with that.
Yeah.
I just
Are we
really don't
excited
like
for the Batman movie?
Joker.
I'm kind of excited.
I'm excited.
I'm
Robert
hyped.
Pattinson's great. Yeah.
I love our
We'll talk more.
We'll
about
talk
Robert
about our Pat
Pattinson.
later.
Yeah, our Pat. Oh boy. But can you guys think of anything else you possibly want to say about this movie?
Oh, we should explain the end credit scene
Oh yeah, because I didn't see it.
just real quick.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler alert if you didn't see it either. We're about
Yeah.
to teach you.
Basically, the end credit scene is the old actress for Wonder Woman,
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter. She is playing
Asteria. The
Asteria.
like gold, the original, the OG Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and she like saves somebody from getting hit with like a light post or something. So, which is hinting towards the fact that she is going to come back and work with Gal Gadot. Yes, in the next movie, Wonder Woman 3.
Oh, that'll be Wonder Woman 1999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be Wonder Woman 2077. It's a cyberpunk crossover.
Cyberpunk.
I thought it was cool how this movie tried to explain a lot of historical events, sort of alternate history. Maybe they'll do Wonder Woman 2020 and she's like, he's in Wuhan.
Dr. Poison's back.
Dr. Poison.
Covidicus is the movie. Oh no. That's it though? That's the whole end credits?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she just walks off. She
was-
looks
it-
great, by the
She
way.
does look.
Wait,
old is
how
she?
do we
She
know
looks
that it's
60s or
Asteria? Did she
70s?
say like, my name is Asteria?
Well, if
Yes,
you wait
no, she actually
later,
does say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's
Oh.
like special appearance, Linda Carter as Asteria,
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
second
come on.
after.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's like just in case you didn't get it.
Well, I don't think I missed much then, honestly.
You really didn't.
I didn't.
know.
It was a pretty lame end credits, I will say.
DC ones always are though.
I thought it was going to be Jason Momoa, low key. I don't know.
I thought Jason Momoa is my favorite bro out of every
really
bro to
is.
ever bro.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He likes motorcycles and knives and rock climbing, and it's like how
and
more.
like hammer belts. Like,
He does
Like
he
the
does
hammer
like his
belt.
hammer belts.
We will get Jason Momoa on here for an interview because we have a channel through somebody else. Not like a YouTube channel, but like a
Yeah, we have a
passageway.
different Jason Momoa Socratic fan page. Give it a sub.
We know Jason Momoa by proxy, so just saying.
Isn't there like a thing where everyone is connected to everyone else
Yes.
through like 2 or 3 links?
Everyone's connected to Kevin Bacon by 7 degrees.
I yes.
There's only one person between me and Mr. Trump, I think. we worked at a summer camp with someone who.
I'd like for
Donald
there
Trump.
to be
Really?
more than one person.
Listen, it wasn't by
beating
choice.
Trump.
It wasn't by choice. And I guess by that logic, 2 away from Biden then, because Trump to Biden is a pretty easy.
Yeah,
Wow.
Wow.
just a skip and a hop.
Also from Xi Jinping, or
Oh.
yeah, whatever his name is.
And Obama though, so
And
I'm
Obama.
gonna think about that one instead. All right, I think that's it, go guys. Thanks for listening. This is the first part in our 5-part recordathon series. We're gonna try and record 5 episodes today. Last year we got like 7, so I think we could do it.
I think we can do it.
It's gonna take a
Yeah.
lot of work. It's gonna take a lot. You guys gotta help us by subscribing to our YouTube channel
And
li-
paying us money on Patreon.
and joining our Patreon and liking and commenting to join our Patreon to get episodes early, and check out the link tree on our Instagram bio for all our social media platforms and things like that. I feel really weird spieling in front of you guys. It's kind of embarrassing.
No, keep spieling, James. I like it when you spiel.
I don't have much more to spiel. Our Instagram, you can find us at Socratic_cinema. Is there an underscore?
Sure.
Yes, on Instagram there's an underscore.
Socratic_cinema, and from there you can click our link tree in our bio to get to all our other wonderful platforms, including our Patreon and our Twitter and our Facebook and everything else. And like and comment on this video and let us know what you thought of Wonder Woman 84. Was it a Blunder Woman 84 or nah? I think it was kind of a Blunder Woman, not gonna lie. But yeah, we'll see you guys in like 15 minutes when we start recording the next podcast.
I'm sorry, Patty Jenkins. I didn't mean it all the way. Like 80% of that I meant.
Wish us luck, team. Socratic Cinema over and out.
Adios.